Welcome to the All-State Thursday Night Lights High School Football Game of the Week. We're here in Germantown, Wisconsin, live at the Phil Datka Stadium as the 2-1 Whitefish Bay Blue Dukes take on the 2-1 Germantown Warhawks. Hi, my name is Mike McGivern. I'm with Sports Radio 1250 WSSP, alongside Brian Calhoun, the ex-Badger, ex-Detroit Lion running back. And this is the Sports Radio 1250 pregame show. Brian, I think the storyline tonight has to be, after 42 years of coaching out here at Germantown, Phil Datka has decided to retire. 2 weeks ago, called the team in, decided that this would be his last year. You were up at Wisconsin on a team with the Wisconsin Badgers when Barry Alvarez did the same thing. As a player, what does that do to you?
I was in a similar situation in 2005 when a couple days into training camp, Coach Alvarez came to me and we actually had a team meeting, and he told us that he was retiring at the end of the season and to hand it over to Coach Billman. So it was definitely a little bit surprise to everybody, but as soon as that meeting was over, we definitely wanted to focus on the game at hand, and we wanted to win as many games as possible for Coach Alvarez.
You know, and I would think that these kids right now are thinking the same thing, not only the kids, but the community and the school. And they lost their first game of the year. He made his announcement. They've run 2 in a row, and this is the first home game that they'll have since Coach Datka announced that he would retire. Should be a lot of buzz and energy in the stadium tonight.
Yeah, they can't lose focus. I mean, you're looking at each game 1-0. And after the early loss in the week 1, they came back and won 2 in a row. So each game they're looking 1-0, and hopefully at the end of the season they can be proud of what they did for Coach Datka in his last season.
You know, looking on the other side, Whitefish Bay. Coach Jim Teasian's just had a marvelous run with the Whitefish Bay Blue Dukes. He's had a lot of success. Talked to him a little bit earlier. They've made some changes on both sides of the ball. He started 2 platooning at the beginning of the year, and he's decided now to have some kids go both ways, mostly seniors, talking about needing leadership both on the offensive, defensive side. As a player, this is game 4. You have to figure that the coaching staff needs to settle in on who's going to be doing what. As a player, do you feel like it's time that they settle on something?
Anytime you have enough players that you can 2 platoon and you have enough confidence in them, that's what you want to do. But when your best players, you have to find the way to get them on the field. And if it means going both ways, then that's what they have to do. And I think slowly, week 4, week 5, they'll have positions where they're set and they'll stay there for the rest of the year.
You know, the North Shore Conference historically, at least the last 5 years or so, has started with Homestead, and then it was everybody after that. I'm not sure that's going to be the case this year. I think Cedarburg's got a chance to maybe get Homestead. Some other teams have a chance. This game is huge for both Whitefish Bay and Germantown to make sure that they're one of the teams that's right there in case Homestead falters.
I completely agree. I think Homestead is clearly the head of the class, but Whitefish Bay and Germantown are clearly on the rise, and they have solid programs intact, and I think they have a chance to slip right up and play with the Homesteads of the conference.
Last question, we'll get to a break. Whitefish Bay likes to throw the ball a little bit. We talked earlier, and it was really windy and overcast. The wind has slowed down a little bit. It should be a great night to throw the ball. When you're a team like Germantown, they really go hard defensively, and they'll blitz from all over the place. Whitefish Bay is going to have to not only throw the ball, but run the ball tonight to get a win.
Yeah, I'm excited for today's matchup, and I think it's going to be a ton of points scored, and I'm really looking forward to kicking this game off.
I am as well. Hey, let's get to a break. The other side of the break, we're going to turn you over to John Weiser and Dick Basham for the call of the game. This is the Thursday Night Lights High School Football Game of the Week.
Datka Stadium, the site of a North Shore Conference showdown here tonight between Whitefish Bay and the homestanding Germantown Warhawks. John Weiser and Dick Basham joining you on the field here. And I'll tell you what, we've got a great matchup, a couple of offensive things to keep an eye on here tonight. First with Germantown, it's a 2-headed attack with their quarterback situation.
Well, that's right, John. I came to practice this week and talked to Coach Datka. He's got 2 young men he really likes. One's a senior and one is a junior. Dylan Krivershine is a senior quarterback, a left-hander. He's fast, he runs the option very well, and has played a lot of downs in the last 3 years. The junior is Josh Mongan, a little bit shorter, more stout quarterback. He also runs the option very well, and I think he's probably the better passer of the 2 from what I saw in practice anyway. But he likes what they've been doing, especially their reads on the option and how they run the offense.
Defense, that's the name of the game when you're talking about Coach Datka, and they've got a good one on defense.
Well, anybody who's won 273 games has played some good defense, and Coach Datka has got a good defense. It's a little bit younger, I think, than he would like it, but they're really coming together, and he likes his strong safety. Adam Hertz has really done a good job. He was a defensive back that they moved up to the outside on the line of scrimmage, and he's played very well and kind of the glue of the defense. In the Hartford game, he had 17 tackles in that game, and 8 of them were unassisted. So obviously he's where the ball is, and I think that's important for the strong safety.
For Whitefish Bay, they've got a second generation running the offensive helm at quarterback in Erkey.
Yeah, Cal Erkey's dad, Bill, was a quarterback back in 1973, a very good quarterback, in fact. And Cal's in his second season. He started every game last year, threw 13 touchdown passes, only 6 interceptions. Last year, 57% completion percentage. This year, he's off to a little bit slower start in the first 3 games. He's got 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions already. He's probably a little more than he'd like, but he's the leader of this team. And when he's on running and passing and handing the ball off to the running backs, they've got a good offensive attack.
Blue Dukes have a great one on defense, a sophomore safety in Weber.
Well, that's true. He started every game last year as a freshman. He had 5 interceptions. We're talking about Jackson Weber. He's about 6'1", 185 pounds. You'll see him tonight a lot. If Germantown's running the option, you're going to see the free safety making a lot of tackles, most likely, especially if the quarterback keeps it. And he's the guy who really flies around, knows what he's doing, and he is the leader of that defense, even though he's only a sophomore.
Time now for our keys for the game tonight, Coach. What you got?
Well, I think it's really important for Whitefish Bay to protect the passer so that Erkey has time to throw the ball, because they're more effective when he can. And I think they need to establish their running game in order to keep the pressure off of him as well. And on defense, I think they need to stop Germantown's option. For Germantown, I think they need to establish a running game so that their play-action passes are effective, because that's how they throw the ball. They're not much of a drop-back team. And they need to pressure the passer in order to take Erkey out of his game. And finally, on defense, they need to keep Whitefish Bay as far from the goal line as they can. They need field position.
Germantown and Whitefish Bay, we're set for the kickoff. We'll be back for that right after this. John Weiser, Dick Basham with you at Detka Stadium in Germantown. Right now, we're going to enjoy our national anthem.
Tonight performed by the Germantown Wall of Sound.
Great matchup tonight out of the North Shore Conference. Germantown hosting Whitefish Bay. And in our opening tonight, we talked a lot about the players on the field, but how about these 2 coaches, long time at both schools?
These are 2 wily veteran coaches, as you would say. Phil Datka in his 42nd and final year here at Germantown High School, and Jim Tejan has been at Whitefish Bay for 21 years. He's been the head coach for the last 10 years. He's been involved in other top-notch programs in the Milwaukee area. So these 2 guys know what the game is all about, and their teams are well coached, and we're looking forward to a great game.
Should be a great matchup. Both teams battling it for the top spot right now in this North Shore Conference. Dick, you and I talked a little bit about it. Kind of top-heavy right now with a couple of teams, but this is an important game because I think the winner of this game gets a leg up not only in conference play but a shot at getting into the playoffs.
Well, I think you're right. This is a conference that has 4 teams that have kind of dominated over the years, including these 2, and you throw in Cedarburg and obviously Homestead, who hasn't lost in the conference for about 10 years. So this is a game that's the team that wins has got a leg up. Then they've got to make sure that they don't let anything get by them, that they should win the rest of the way.
Blue Dukes will receive here tonight. Germantown winning the coin toss. They've elected to defer until the second half. Devontae Johnson back deep for the Blue Dukes in the white jerseys, silver pants, silver helmets. Germantown, blue jerseys, gold pants, white numerals, white helmet.
And we have a perfect night for a game. I'll tell you, the temperature's down in the 50s. There's no wind. Couldn't be any better.
Be interesting to keep an eye on both offenses here tonight. You're going to see a big difference. You're going to see a little bit more passing out of Whitefish Bay here tonight. Try and run to set up the pass. And then you got Germantown with that great option play. Should be a great matchup. We're glad you're with us tonight on My 24 and the All-State Thursday Night Light telecast here tonight. Alex Gasper set to kick this one off. And our run up. And we are underway. Jax will take this one out across the 15-20, near side to the 25, and he's dumped down at the 26-yard line. Good return.
Nice open field tackle by Chad Wanek from Germantown.
So we get a look at our Whitefish Bay offense.
This is a low line drive kick that goes down about the 10-yard line.
They'll put the ball in play at the 26. 1st and 10 for Whitefish Bay. Officials getting everybody set. Now we're ready to go. Tight split across the line. We'll set the starters for you right after this play. Man in motion far side. Hand off fullback right up the middle. And this was, I believe it was Johnson.
No, Julian Posey.
Julian Posey, the running back, getting a start here tonight, the sophomore. Let's get the starting lineups for you for Whitefish Bay. Erke at quarterback. We talked about that. Then you have Posey and Johnson in the backfield. And up front, it'll be Shamley, Henricks, Seeby, Klett, Hoff, and DeMuth, the tight end. Lecky, the flanker, Hessel, the split end. Going back to pass, trying to set up the pass on a little bit of draw.
Galganitis makes
Galganitis stepping in, making a nice play. As we set the defense for you for Germantown. Up front, Galganitis making a start. He coming back after off-season knee surgery, returned last week. Al Hassan at a tackle, along with Fretchel, McComas, and Kretlow up front. Klaczewski, Olson, and Hertz in the backfield, and the defensive backs are Reindl, Holcomb, and Bowers. 3rd down and long here for Whitefish Bay. This is their passing down here. And they're going to swing it out to the flanker on the far side. Makes the catch out across the 30 to about the 32-yard line. Going to be short of the first down. Reindl making the stop defensively for Germantown.
Yeah, that was a little bubble screen action where they brought actually their free safety Weber into the game to be a blocker. And then they dump it out to the wide receiver and try to get a quick 5 yards. That was a good play by Reindl for Germantown. Saved the play from being a first down.
Lucky the receiver there, as this will be a 4th and 3 punting formation here for Whitefish Bay. Our starting lineups tonight brought to you by Hits, specializing in team sports and spirit wear and promotional items. HitsWisconsin.com. This will be a short punt just across midfield. It'll roll across the 40. Gets a nice friendly bounce for the Blue Dukes. Back inside the 30 and down at the 28-yard line. So we get our first look at the Germantown offense, and we're going to see a pair of quarterbacks here tonight, Dick, shuttling the plays in and out.
Yeah, it's a little unusual to do that. In all my years of coaching, I never did that. There was a couple times when I thought I might have to do it, but I never really thought it was a good idea. Coach Daka obviously knows what he's doing. The stadium's named after him. He's won a lot of games, so we're not going to second-guess him.
You saw the linemen, now the backs and receivers for Germantown. That offensive line, they talk about how big they are. How about how smart they are? 3.4 GPA across that front line for Germantown. They'll go out of the pistol formation here, and they'll hand it off. On the swipe play, they give it off to the defense, or the running back, Richmond, met in the backfield and thrown down for a loss, trying to run out of that spread formation.
Garrett DeMuth on the tackle, right.
Garrett DeMuth leading that defense as we set the defense for you. There you see DeMuth, the defensive tackle, along with Klett, Beck, and Dixon. Your linebackers, Seeby, Pandel, and Letisa. And that secondary led by Weber, Jackson Weber. We talked about him. 5 interceptions last year as a freshman. Loss of 1, 2nd and 11 from the 27. And the pitch goes out far side. And Richmond trying to make the way out there and having trouble getting back across the line of scrimmage.
That is a lead option where the quarterback steps back and just attacks the defensive end and then pitches the ball if the end commits to him. And this is a play I saw him working on in practice this week, and it was well defended.
You get a good look at that. And the Blue Dukes had it defended pretty well.
Yeah. Good flow right there from Jack Beck, the big senior nose guard.
So 3rd and long. If you're Whitefish Bay, this is what you want with an option team.
Exactly.
Take away first down. They'll play action. They'll roll the quarterback out. And they'll toss it out downfield. Man there and make the catch. Out of bounds. Could not keep his footing in bounds. Nice play to Tazinski that time on the pitch from Krivishine, who has thrown the ball a lot better here in the last couple of days.
Yeah, he really has. I saw him in practice early in the week. It's nice to have one left-handed and one right-handed quarterback, too, because no matter what hash mark you're on, you can roll to the wide side and have a quarterback with the proper throwing arm.
Couldn't get that left foot in and caught that ball out of bounds. Good call by the side judge on the far sideline. So Germantown punting this one away. It's a spiraling kick. Taken at the 35. Cutting back near side. This is Weber across the 40. On his feet to the 45 and out to midfield is Weber for the Blue Dukes. Good field position for Whitefish Bay on their second possession as Sebastian Fisher came in to make the stop on special teams.
Yeah, that was a nice return. It was a low kick, which gives it less time in the air, a little bit more likely to return it. First guy down overruns a play, but he weaves his way around and gets about 10, 12, almost 15 yards there and gets him in really good field position.
So just shy of midfield, second possession for the Blue Dukes on offense. Erke will turn and give, trying to work the right side.
That was Adam Hurd out there who really turned that play in and snuffed it right away. That's the guy we talked about in the pregame that he had 17 tackles against Hartford. He's already up to 1 on the first play here in the second series.
Devontae Johnson, the senior, a 76-yard touchdown run last week in the win over Nicolay. Gain of 1, 2nd and 9, ball at the midfield stripe. Just underway, first quarter. Play action pass, Erke with time, steps up, coming back left side, short-armed it, incomplete. Intended for Hessel out here on the near side of the split
he
end.
Slipped coming out of his cut, and that allowed the defensive back to Bauer to jump the play, and really didn't have much of a chance then.
Everyone at Thursday Night Lights asks you to support Allstate in their X the Text program. Allstate in My 24 urges students and their families to stop texting and driving by pledging to X the Text. Students can sign a pledge at the Allstate booth at all of our Thursday Night Lights games, or they can go online to allstate.com/teen to get more information. 3rd and 9 here for the Blue Dukes. From shotgun, Erke. Blitz is on, they pick it up. Gets the ball out, it's going to be picked off. Intercepted out there by Holcomb. Holcomb trying to come back near side 35 and out to the 38-yard line. Ben Holcomb, the junior, 6'3", 165, the free safety, just playing center field coach, and made the catch on the nice pick.
That was probably not the place to throw that ball. The safety was not fooled by the play. They had it well covered. And when you put the ball in the air that long, there's a good chance the defensive guy's going to track it down. He did.
Looking for Johnson, the running back, that time out, and just a go route straight up the hash mark on that far side. And Ben Holcomb able to come away with our first takeaway, sets up our First Bank Financial Center First Down, our First Down sponsor here on Allstate Thursday Night Lights. First Financial Banking Center, discover the community bank difference.
Jamie Klett, the right guard for Whitefish Bay, got down and made the tackle on that interception.
And the handoff this time goes to Richmond, trying to pick his way up the middle, gets it out to about the 40-yard line before he is stacked up there.
Nothing fancy about that, just a straight ahead dive play.
Defense for the Blue Dukes. It's Klett up front, getting a start over Dismukes this week. Beck, Demuth, Dixon up front. Seaby, that outside linebacker. Hessel getting a start at strong safety. The other two linebackers, Pandel and Letizia. Out of the offset eye. 2nd down, 7. They'll give it to the fullback, gets his way through and met and stacked up nicely. Good stout defensive effort that time by the Blue Dukes, taking away Baker on the fullback dive.
Well, it looks like Germantown is deciding to try to set up the option a little bit. You have to run the dive play and soften up the defense and make them think you're going to run inside before you can set up the option to the outside, and that's what they've done in the last 2 plays. We'll see where they go from here.
Our sideline reporter, Mike McGivern, has something going on. Mike, what do you got?
Germantown is looking to hit Kalurki on every single play, handoff or run. Part of their game plan is to make sure they get him on the ground, either through a run or a pass. If you watch, that caused a lot of the shortness of the pass on the interception. The idea is to hit him on every play.
Ball nearly intercepted here by the Blue Dukes as we get a look at this one. Great defensive effort. Jeremiah Holt out there, 5'8".
Yeah, this was a little slant pass that was a little bit behind the receiver, and the defensive back, I think, was surprised and didn't make the play.
So the drive stalls after the interception. Warhawks will punt it away. Weber with the reception at the 22. Breaks a tackle at the 30 and falls forward at the 32. So Jackson Weber with a nice return. Sophomore for the Blue Dukes. Midway through our first quarter, no score between Germantown and Whitefish Bay.
Adam Hertz downfield to make that tackle on that punt return. Yeah, we're just kind of sparring back and forth here. I think both teams showing their best defense right now, and offenses are trying to figure out some strategy that may loosen them up a little bit.
Go with a single receiver split here to the near side. They'll run the slot man far side in motion as the give is to the fullback.
Yeah, that play.
Cretlow able to make the tackle on that.
That play was pretty much dead in the water. It didn't. Cretlow didn't get blocked, and he squeezed it down and made the play.
Deontay Brown, a junior, 5'8", 200-pound fullback. Getting the call there, and again, stopping them on first down sets up 2nd and long here, and that's been the storyline early on here in the first quarter.
I think they would be good if they can stay out of predictable situations, maybe come out and throw it on first down and loosen them up.
This time they'll line Brown up in a wing to the far side, go with a slot receiver here near side, single back, and Erke will hand it off to that single back, trying to get the corner in the right side, and he's tackled for a loss. Yep.
Adam Hertz.
Rashad Amin Gray was the ball carrier. And Hertz was right there to make the stop for a loss. Back to the original line of scrimmage. It'll set up 3rd and 11 here.
This is a little belly play to the left side of the offense, and you'll see right here, I think that Adam Hertz is right there. Came off that block and made a very nice play.
He has really come on as a senior, 6'2", 175 for Coach Datka's Warhawks. 3rd and long once again here for Whitefish Bay. Slot receiver to the right. Roll of quarterback Erke out to his right. Has time, delivers the ball through the hands of his receiver. Incomplete. Hessel, again the intended target, would have had the first down, but forgot to bring the pigskin in.
Yeah, that was probably a catchable pass. And they had the tight end over here on the short side, and they got this free safety, strong safety, Hertz out of the way, and then he had quite a bit of room to throw, but the ball's just a hair too high. I think Hessel would probably tell you he should have caught it, though.
Once again, a punt here for Whitefish Bay, 3 and out. Low snap, short punt. It'll bounce at midfield. Take a favorable bounce for the Warhawks, down by the Blue Dukes at their own 48-yard line. So when we come back, Germantown, first trip across midfield when they get possession here. 4.5 minutes to play first quarter. No score between Germantown and Whitefish Bay. Scoreless battle here in Germantown between Whitefish Bay and Germantown High School, with Dick Basham, John Weiser back with you at Phil Datka Stadium. A good crowd on hand for this one, a North Shore Conference battle.
Well, Germantown has good field position here now inside the 50-yard line. They're winning that exchange battle with the punts.
I formation behind the quarterback. This is Krivashine. He's going to run option. Has some room. 45 inside the 35, down to the 31-yard line. Good strong run, 14-yard pickup. Krivashine on the run. Weber with the stop.
Well, that's what I alluded to just a few minutes ago when I said they're setting up the option, and that's exactly what they did there. They came down the weak to the short side of the field. Not a lot of room to pitch there, but they didn't have to because they They jumped a dive man, and the quarterback just followed up the field.
Again, Josh Mongan in. Again, the quarterbacks will shuttle the plays in and out. Double slot here. They're going to throw on first down. They come back near side, complete here to the near side.
Yeah, that's a little stop pattern out to the split end on the short side of the field. It's a very safe play. Tackled by Jeremiah Holt, sophomore cornerback.
Blake Fleischman on the nice reception, as you see there. Able to get 8 yards on that pickup before driven out of bounds. Fleischman, his first catch. So Germantown starting to move the football, set up by the short punt, just inside the 50-yard line. Krivashine again back in at quarterback, I formation. They'll give it to the fullback, Baker. Baker bulls his way inside the 20, down to the 18-yard line before he's wrapped up there.
Well, we're going to give that credit to the offensive line. They really got off the ball and moved the pile. Now, Jack Beck was able to finally stop the play, but the Germantown offensive line made that happen.
Well, you have heard the hype. Now see what it's all about. Catch Kevin Conley and Jeremy Piven in Entourage. That's weeknights at 11, right here on My 24. Less than 4 minutes to play first quarter. No score, but Germantown driving here. As stumbling out of the backfield was the quarterback Mongan. It looked like he got stepped on by the center as he pulled away.
Yeah, I think he actually got tangled up with the left guard, Kevin Bardos. Caught him and he went down. And that can happen. It's close quarters in there. No, I think you're right. He got tangled up in the center. He was the center.
Alex Zorn that time, backing out of the snap, trying to go into protection mode and accidentally tripped his quarterback. So now Krivashine with Baker the fullback, Richmond the tailback. And they try and run option. They try and give it to Baker, and he is stacked up immediately for no gain. So now 3rd and long facing the Warhawks here as the Dukes starting to tighten up on defense.
Yeah, that was pretty well stuffed by Jamie Klett. Got it right away. They're too far to kick a field goal there. They're too close to punt. So technically, I'd say they would have 2 downs to get it right here unless they get enough yardage to try a field goal after this play.
3rd and 12 from the 21. No movement there. The right guard flinched a little bit. That would have been Joel Schultz over there. Might have gotten out of his stance a half second too soon.
Still basically the same situation. Instead of 12 now, they have 17 to go. But I think if you're going to try to get close enough, you're going to have to kick it, you're going to have to throw it. If you're going to try to hope to get the first down, you're probably going to have to throw a couple passes here. If they have a screen, and a screen pass would be a good call here, a draw play, something like that. I'm sure the defense is thinking pressure the quarterback. So
our first penalty of the ball game pulls Germantown back 5, 3rd and 17. Ball just across the 25-yard line.
I think Mongan's more successful when he rolls out, but he did drop back that time.
Over
nice
the
throw.
middle, and it's incomplete. Who was out there, though? That was Weber, who got in the way of the receiver that time. He knew he was going to get clocked if he comes up with that catch.
Yeah, he did. You don't want to throw the ball down the middle because somebody's going to pay. He's everywhere. Grant Menard is in on the play also.
As Cole Reindl, the intended receiver.
Okay.
And Weber was right there.
He comes in when they want to go double twins and is that 4th receiver.
So they'll go for it here on 4th down. Too far for a field goal, too close to punt. 4th and 17. They'll roll out the quarterback. The lefty fires. It's complete inside the 15 and driven back. And it's going to depend on forward progress here.
That's Krivashine, and he's a lefty, and that rolling to the left is his bread and butter, and that was a well-run pattern. Just a little stop pattern down on the sideline. Again, a very safe throw. If we don't get it twice, nobody gets it. That's a philosophy that goes there.
And again, works just like a punt in the
number
corner.
85, Louis Tashinsky, that made that catch, yeah.
Just like a punt, though, going out of bounds.
Exactly.
Flip the field position here. Another first bank first down. 1st and 10, Whitefish Bay at their own 11-yard line. Erke going to hand it off, coming around the near side. Trying to cut it back up at the hash mark and met near the 15-yard line. It was Leckie.
Danny Olson made the tackle.
Leckie, a flanker, 5'8", senior. 2 carries, 16 yards coming into this ball game. Gets the handoff there, picks up 3.
They bring him back in motion across the formation as if he was going to go over all the way across, and then it's a quick snap and hand it to him, but it didn't fool Germantown.
Erke taking his time at the line. Hand it off, fullback through, breaks a tackle out across to 20, 25, 30, and out to the 32-yard line.
Yeah, that's Posey.
Posey with a nice run, the sophomore, 5 foot, 970 pounds.
Yeah,
Big hole opened up right over the middle.
That was straight ahead. See the left guard pulling across, a nice block by the left guard. That was a great block.
Posey just needs a little bit of room at 5'9", 170.
That was Jeff Seeby that you could see in that picture from the end zone camera. It was a great block.
So first down once again, and it's Posey again on the carry. Posey breaking tackles out near the 45-yard line, gain of 13 and another first down. Check that. That is Brown, Deontay Brown with the carry, the fullback, 5'8", 200 pounds.
Joe Cretlow on the tackle, and I think you're going to see on this replay that I think that same left guard pulled out Jeff Seeby and made a good block here.
Nearly broke 2 different tacklers that time. That's the strength of Brown.
This was Brown's first game of the year. He had to serve an eligibility suspension. I'm not sure for what for, but this is why he's back, and I think they're going to be glad that he's here.
Leckie now in motion. And they'll cross him up, go back the other way. Devontae Johnson with it, trying to get the corner on the right side. The Germantown defense stringing it out nicely for no gain.
Yeah, that was Galganitis back there right away to put that play in jeopardy, and then Hertz followed up. He's the strong safety playing outside of Galganitis. So those two guys that's a tough combination to run around.
Galganitis just his second game back, had off-season knee surgery.
You can see he's still a little gimpy, but I think they like what he can do, even though he's a little gimpy.
Loss of 1, 2nd and 11, under a minute to go here in this first quarter. A scoreless first quarter here in Germantown.
Now we got trips out here. I think that's the first time tonight we've seen trips for them.
Erke rolls left, now tries to go back over the middle. Hit as he's thrown, looking for Weber. It's broken up, incomplete.
Well, they had Weber down there, and that ball's a little underthrown. I think he needs to get rid of the ball a little bit sooner. Cole Rindle making the play for Germantown.
Again, they went trips to the right side, and Erke came back to his right, throwing it.
Just a little underthrown. Nice play by the defensive back, staying with the play. But I think if Erke can get set up just a little bit quicker and get that ball in the air, while a pass play is usually open in the first 3 or 4 seconds when you get that separation from the defensive back, but then the defensive back recovers and closes, and that's exactly what happened there.
19 of 46 for 194 yards and 3 touchdowns on the season coming in for Erke. Play action over the middle, and it's caught. The tight end makes the catch inside the 45 down to the Germantown 41-yard line. Nice play there.
That's Garrett DeMuth, and that's been his favorite receiver in this year, and that was a well done, well executed play.
6'3", 222-pound senior DeMuth. Big target.
Big target, good hands. Malcolm Bowers, I think, was the first guy to make contact there.
That'll run out the clock here in the first quarter. When we come back, a 1st and 10 in Germantown territory for the Blue Dukes. Scoreless here after 1 quarter in Germantown on the Allstate Thursday Night Lights on My 24. Scoreless after 1, heading into the second quarter. Our real fan cam tonight presented to you by Wendy's. Wendy's, you know when it's real.
Well, Whitefish Bay's got a little something going here. Probably the 3rd or 4th time they've had the ball, but now they've gotten 2 or 3 first downs inside the almost to the 40-yard line.
Yes, they do.
Going left to right here to start this second quarter. From the 41, 1st and 10. He turns, gives, fullback through. Gets a couple that time.
Deontay Brown. Pull. Tommy Hendricks out there pulling on that, a little G scheme.
Let's go down to Mike McGivern on the sideline.
Hey, listen to the coaches from Whitefish Bay between the first and second quarter. They feel like their offensive line is starting to take control of the game. Watch them to run to the left a little bit. Left tackle's really starting to move some people out and make holes for the running backs.
Thank you, Mike.
Mike's exactly right there. That's exactly what's happening. That's
Johnson.
Posey again on the carry, I believe, wasn't it?
That was Johnson.
Johnson?
Johnson, the running back, the senior.
Or 41 instead of number 21, that's right. I saw the one.
Still going to come up short of the first down. 3rd and 3 for the Blue Dukes. The deepest penetration of the ball game thus far. Send Johnson in motion near side, but the handoff goes to the big man inside the 30. To be close to a first down before he is driven back there.
Yeah, that's Deontay Brown, I think. And that was a straight ahead power play. I think their line is really starting to establish themselves right now. Ben Holcomb's been making a lot of tackles. He's a free safety for Germantown, and when your free safeties are making a lot of tackles on the fullback, that's not a good deal.
Once again, as Mike pointed out, that left side, the left guard, Henricks, left tackle, Shanley, doing a nice job with the kickouts there. Spring their running backs. It's enough for a first down, another first bank first down. And once again, big hole up the middle for Brown, inside the 25, short of the 20-yard line. Deontay Brown.
Yeah, now that you got the strong safety coming in and making tackles inside. They're really getting that surge off the ball, and that's what decides who controls what in the line play.
And again, setting this up, pounding the ball inside, getting those safeties to creep up, and all of a sudden you might see a little play action here.
Yeah, they are set up for a play action pass, that's for sure.
Let's see how they
Especially
go
over here to the weak side, because that free safety now is over in the middle of the field.
Give it to Brown. Brown breaking tackles inside the 15, down to the 12-yard line, and a first down.
That is old-fashioned raw power football, and then Nick Blaszewski made the tackle, the sophomore linebacker.
They're just grinding down the defense here for the Warhawks as we get a look at this one again. It's nothing fancy here.
Everybody straight ahead. Fold up in there. Like just a wedge on an axe or something. Just split that defense and run up inside it.
Slot man in motion to the far side. Once again, Brown gets the carry, just lowers his head down 10-yard line. He got about 3, maybe 4 on the play before he is stopped.
Jacob Al-Hassan makes the tackle, but they may have gone to the well one time too many here. They've certainly got him set up for some other things. Let's see if they go to something that starts out like that dive play and turns out to be a pass or a sweep, something like that.
Hessel back in the ballgame now to split end for the Blue Dukes. Early second quarter, no score, but Whitefish Bay threatening here down to the Germantown 11-yard line. Devontae Johnson split out to the left. 2 receivers here to the near side. The slot man in motion. That's Leckie. Play action. And Erke going to be sacked back at the 15-yard line. Coming in to make the play, Kretlow, the sophomore, 6'1", 185.
Yeah, that's exactly what Germantown needed, and that was a play action pass that they had set up, but it's hard to throw from your back.
Came in clean off that left side. So we get a look at this one. It was going to be play action and no time to set up.
Set, but Galganitis was there as well.
Yeah, now you're back to 3rd and 12 here. The ball at the 15-yard line. Erke play action with time. Going to the corner, man there. DeMuth, it's incomplete. Garrett DeMuth, the tight end, just running a drag down that near sideline. Defended by Reindl.
Yeah, Erke's wearing Galganitis on him. That guy is all over.
Good pressure up front that time by the Warhawks. Now decision time here for Coach Tejan in Whitefish Bay. Looks like they're going to bring the field goal unit on here and go for the points.
Okay, David Galganitis has impressed me. He's playing with a bad wheel, but he is all over Erke every time he drops back to pass.
from the 27 near hash mark. Check that, the 22 near hash mark, a 32-yard field goal. It is up, and it is good, just inside the left upright. David French, who gets that ball up quickly, got that one through. And a 32-yard field goal, and Whitefish Bay on the board. A nice drive here. Able to chew up some time and get points to boot.
Well, that's for sure. You don't want to do all that work and get down that close and come away with nothing. I'm sure they would rather have 7, but we'll take 3 and be happy.
National Guard gets it easy. Only 3 push-ups here on the near sideline.
Right. Bunch of pikers, huh? There's Phil Ducker.
You don't like that scowl.
Yeah, that's the old professor right there.
15 plays, 89 yards, chewing up almost 7 minutes of time, capped off by the 32-yard field goal. Whitefish Bay on the board.
Anytime your defense gets pushed around like that, any coach who's been around for a long time knows that that's not a good sign. But that doesn't mean it can't change. But right now, I think Whitefish Bay established that they can move the ball.
Krivashine and Bowers to return this kick for Germantown. French gets a good foot into this one. It'll drift to the near sideline, and it will skip around and finally roll out just inside the 5.
Yep, that's close. That brings it out to the 35-yard line, or they can make them kick again, but I'm quite sure they'll take it on the 35.
See, French will pick up the tee, so Germantown will take it at their own 35. Let's go down to the sidelines and Mike McGivern.
Hey, we're here with Rebecca Monzinga, the advertising specialist for Boucher Automotive, and 4-year-old Kaya. Rebecca, thanks for coming again this week. Hey, tell us a little bit about what's going on here at the end of 2010 and what Gordy Boucher and Boucher Automotive is trying to do with the 2010 car.
Now is actually a great time to look at buying a new car. All the manufacturers are trying to get rid of their 2010 inventory, get ready for 2011, so the rebates and the financing offers are incredible right now.
You know, thank you again so much for being part of the All-State Thursday Night Lights High School Football Game of the Week. Kaya, do we want to say hello to your best friend?
Say hi.
Say hello? Okay, I'll do it for her. Is it Sharia? Sharia, hi Sharia. Back up to the box with Dick Basham and John Wise.
Matt Eggert with the reception on a tip ball right at the line of scrimmage. Good concentration by Eggert, the senior, to haul that one in.
Yeah, that was a good throw, too.
That was Mongan, a quarterback for Germantown. Again, we're going to see the quarterback shuttle in and out with the plays. Gain of 4, 2nd and 6 for the Warhawks off the near hash. Just short of their own 40-yard line following the kick going out of bounds, and they will hand it off. And coming through is Richmond over the left side across the 40 before he is stacked up at the 43.
Well, it looks like Germantown is going to try to establish a running game. That was a nice off-tackle play and a tackle by Hessel and Menard.
Third down.
Just shy of the 45. It'll be 3rd and inches here for Germantown. And Mongan, the quarterback, bringing in the play this time for the Warhawks. Play here, they'll put 5 across here, make that 6 in the box here for Whitefish Bay. And Mongan will hand it off, and Richmond just across the 45 gets the first down for the Warhawks. Everyone at Thursday Night Lights asks you to support Allstate and their X the Text program. Allstate and My24 urges students and their families to stop texting and driving by pledging to X the Text. Students can sign a pledge at the Allstate booth at all of our Thursday Night Lights games, or they can go online to allstate.com/teen to get more information.
Yeah, that was Garrett DeMuth on the tackle in the last play. Sorry, I jumped on your...
It's okay. I don't take it personally. This time it's Krivashine, the quarterback, on a keep. Takes it all the way out to about midfield. Gain of about 4 on the play. Krivashine, 12 carries.
They're going to run that fullback up in there. So an option, that's what option teams do. They soften you up before they head to the outside.
Key here, though, Germantown starting to pick up yardage on first down. When you're an option team, that plays right into the offensive playbook.
Exactly right.
You're taking him out of that 2nd and long. Now you're getting a little bit more manageable 2nd and 5, 2nd and 6.
Yep.
And the ground game gets an opportunity here.
Double twins alignment.
Yep, single back, double twins. Left and right here. 3-step drop by Mongan coming back overhead. The receiver, Eggert, could not gather it in. If he makes that catch, it's 6.
That was as good as a handoff. That's a catch you got to make, because that would have been a touchdown. Excellent throw. Mongan's got a nice strong arm, a quick release, and that ball was right on the money. I think might have taken his eye off the ball.
Menard, the defender, had slipped. That left Eggert wide open on the slant, the little skinny post over the middle, and that would have been 6 points for Germantown. Coach Tejan encouraging his defense here to step it up. 3rd and 6 here for the Warhawks. Ball right at midfield. Krivoshine rolling left with time. Delivers here to the near side, complete. Blake Fleischman with the catch. Takes it down just shy of the 30-yard line. Pickup of 19 and a first down.
Yeah, that was a nice, well-conceived play. They showed sweep to the wide side of the field, and then quarterback Mongan reversed himself. Throw on the run, wide open, big play, first down.
Looked like that was Beck who kind of flushed the quarterback around a little bit, put him on the run. Look at Blake Fleischman. Offset eye. 1st and 10, Germantown. Whitefish Bay 30-yard line. They'll run option. Quarterback will keep it. This is Mongan diving inside the 30 to about the 29-yard line. Mongan, not much of a rusher coming into the game. 5 carries, -1 on the year. Klett there, the defensive tackle, to make the stop.
I think you probably could have turned it up just a hair sooner, but the defense just feathered the play out. They didn't attack the quarterback. On the option, the defense has a choice of to attack the quarterback and make him pitch it, or to let him run and not help him make a decision, and that's what they did that time.
2 receivers here to the near side on 2nd down and long. And Krivoshine will hand it off to Richmond. Richmond buried right at the line of scrimmage. Weber was there.
Free safety up there making that play.
So Weber, one of the guys we talked about, Jackson Weber, the sophomore, 6'1", 185. Started all 9 games as a freshman last year. Had 5 picks for the Blue Dukes last season on defense. 3rd down and 7.
Yeah, this is a big play now. They're in a situation where they probably really need to throw it.
Mongan in under center, the quarterback. 3-step drop, turns, fires, incomplete.
That was a well-thrown ball. I don't think the receiver, I think that's Malcolm Bowers, that was corner for him. I don't think he picked that ball up, and it was by him before he could adjust.
It's a couple of times now the receiver's turning and looking back late for the football.
Yeah, I agree. That was a well-thrown ball.
Timeout.
Germantown going to take the timeout here. We'll take a break as well. Just under 5 minutes remaining here in this first half, but early 3-0 lead. Whitefish Bay on top of Germantown. This is our Thursday night light presentation by Allstate on My 24. Coach Phil Datka looking on. Critical 4th down here for his Germantown Warhawks, trailing by 3. They will go for it here. They'll stack 3 receivers to the left.
I don't know what they call a bunch formation.
Penalty markers thrown before the snap.
I think the split end out there might have jumped.
That's exactly the call there. That's going to help out Whitefish Bay here.
Now 4th and 11, 4th and 6. That's about it. Still doable.
Krivoshine will stay in at quarterback. Got the play from the far sideline. This time they'll go with twin left, twin right, single back Richmond. Krivoshine in under center. Straight drop. Far sideline. It is
Picked off.
Picked off or not? Let's
tie
see.
Goes to the offense. If they call that a tie catch, the offense would get the ball, but I thought the defense had it first.
Warhawks think they have it. Let's see. No official signal yet from the back judge or the line judge down there. Let's see.
Pass intended for Jacob Richmond.
Fleischman got a hand on it. Let's see.
Well, it was really a jump ball, but I thought the defense was the first to get their hands on it. But then, if it turns out to be a tie catch, then it goes to the offense, and that's what they ruled it.
Let's take a look. He had it.
Holt was up there and he had it, but then the offense.
He just wrestled away from him.
Yeah.
It was Jeremiah Holt, the defender, who got a hand on it. Let's look at this angle here. You'll see it clearly. He got both hands on the football.
No, he juggled it a little bit, and the receiver jumped in there and grabbed it, and then he called it a tie catch, and that goes to the offense. That's the rule.
Fleischman with the stronger hands that time, able to wrestle it away. Sets up a 1st and goal just inside the 10 for Germantown. Option coming near side, ball on the ground, but it's covered up. On the pitch that time, Richmond. Not sure if Mongan that time, as he tried to pitch, may have stumbled trying to get that ball out to Richmond on the option play. Looked a little off balance trying to flip it out there.
I think that was Jeff Seeby, who's now playing some defense, who was in there and made the play. He just got enough of the quarterback that he couldn't complete the pitch. And I think it was there, but the defense made the play, and that's you got to give them the credit.
Another look at Coach Datka, Coach Tejan on the near sideline here.
Yeah, Jim Tejan.
Offset backfield here behind Krivashine. Baker in motion. They'll roll the quarterback. Krivashine wide open, corner of the end zone. Ball knocked away. Incomplete. Got a hand on that one was Zach Hessel, the senior.
Yeah.
He got a late hand in there to break up that pass. Otherwise, that was 6 points to Egger.
Yeah, just a hair. If he'd thrown the ball a hair sooner, it wouldn't have been able to get to it. He had a couple of guys also open in the middle of the end zone, but he running to his left, he couldn't see him. Yeah, that was a game. It's a game of inches, as they say, and that was a couple inches right there that went to the defensive team.
Good throw, though, by Krivashine. Rolling left, being a left-hander. Tough pass.
Trips out to the right now. They got a lot of room out there. They're on towards the left hash mark here.
3 receivers right, single back. They'll roll Mongan out to his right. Pressure on. Intercepted. Picked off by one of the linebackers at the 10. Racing up near the 20-yard line as Germantown turns it over deep in the Blue Duke territory. My, oh my.
Yeah. Mongan rolling out to the right. He has room. He got there's a receiver on the sideline, but he hit that's Seeby, I think. Yeah, that's
Yep, that is Jeff Seeby, the outside linebacker.
He made two key plays in that series. He broke up that pitch on the option and makes that interception.
That'll earn you a couple of stickers on the back of the helmet.
Exactly right. And this is a guy who doesn't normally play a lot of defense. He's an offensive player.
So Whitefish Bay turns away Germantown. They'll hand it off. Coming around trying to get the corner here on the near side. That is Posey. Nearly broke it here on the near side.
No, it actually isn't. It's
that Johnson, Devontae Johnson with the carry. Strong safety Hertz able to make the play defensively for the Warhawks, but a pickup of 4 sets up 2nd and 6 here for Whitefish Bay. Clock rolling, 3 minutes to play first half.
Probably going to have to pull out a few pass plays here, Dick, if they want to score before the end of the first half, unless they can get a long run out of something.
Johnson in motion. This time they'll give to Brown. Brown, the fullback, close to a first down. Koszewski there, the sophomore, to make the tackle.
Yeah, he was on that real quick, and that play didn't have much of a prayer of doing much. They do have a manageable situation here, 3rd and 2, so based on what they've been doing here the last couple times they've had the ball, this is quite doable. See if Germantown defense can rise to the occasion.
2 receivers left for Erke. He'll hand it off, fullback dive right up the middle. Trying to get that first down.
I think Germantown got enough people there that they didn't get any momentum. They spread the formation trying to make it look like a potential pass, but
looks like El Hassan may have led the charge that time for Germantown. Looking for laughs? Well, the hit comedy How I Met Your Mother has you covered. And now you can catch 2 episodes every weeknight on CW18. So join Barney and the gang 5 nights a week with How I Met Your Mother, 5:30 and 9 on Milwaukee's CW18.
That was a nice defensive series for Germantown. They're forcing them to punt here. They're going to have about a minute and a half left. And they should get the ball in fairly good field position.
Well, he's able to bounce right back, get the football back. They'll have 2 timeouts left here.
I understand why the clock is running here and they're not. Whitefish Bay is asking for a timeout. Yep. They want to use as much time as they can before they punt here. Give Germantown no time.
Well, it'll give us a chance to remind you to listen to the Wendy's Varsity Blitz scoreboard show Friday nights at 7 on Sports Radio 1250 WSSP. Get updates and scores from all the area high school football games. They had their highest rating ever last week Friday because Dick Basham was on there.
I don't know about that.
It's the Varsity
Actually,
Blitz.
Actually, had a good rating because we had a lot of good games last weekend.
Man, there were some great games last week, was there not?
Some big upsets and a lot of teams playing good football and a lot of big games this weekend, too.
Big rivalry games across southeast Wisconsin this week. Bradford, the #1 ranked team, over at Oak Creek.
Right. Big battle in Brookfield. Brookfield Central hosting Brookfield East. East is 3-0. It's been a while since they've been 3-0.
Big Southern Lakes tilt. Waterford, Burlington. That'll be a big matchup.
Arrowhead plays Waukesha West, I think, out at Arrowhead. And McWanigo, who upset Arrowhead, is playing Catholic Memorial. That's another big game.
So Whitefish Bay forced to punt.
See if we can get a return here. I got 2 guys back.
Morgan and Trzynski back here for Germantown, standing near midfield. Berkey, who also doubles up as the punter, got a nice kick. Fair catch signal called for. And reception made by Josh Morgan at the 40-yard line. Collided with his other deep man there,
more difficult than it needed to be.
Spotted just shy of the 40-yard line. Germantown with 2 timeouts remaining, trailing by 3. Minute 13 to play.
Plenty of time to score.
Offense huddle around Coach Phil Datka. 42 years here at Germantown.
That's a long time.
Well, you ought to know.
Yeah,
you were around this business
agree,
for a while. Great human being over there.
Yeah, he is. He's beloved here, and as I said earlier, they named the stadium after him, and I think that tells you a lot right there.
Swinging out here, the man in motion. Catch is made by the split end. There's Reindl trying to get across the 40.
The defensive back
45.
Comes in on offense when they want to go with the 4 receiver set. A little swing screen or bubble screen.
Jamie Klett was there to make the stop.
Timeout.
Did not get out of bounds, though, so they'll take their second timeout here with just under a minute to play.
See if they go down. See if they go down the field on a pass here. They've had guys open down there. They just have not made the connection.
You look at Coach Jim Tejan and his Whitefish Bay Blue Duke team. For his defense, he's very much involved with the defensive side of the game. We saw that during the pregame warm-ups, working with the defensive backs and linebackers, and trying to fire up his D-line.
One thing we haven't seen much this year. This is our 4th game. I don't think we have seen a screen pass this year yet. We haven't seen a draw play that I can remember. Those used to be plays that were great plays. In a pass offense, are actually fairly easy to run, especially when you have a defense that's aggressive, rushing the passers. We'll see if maybe Phil, he's been around a while, if he can pull out a screen pass or a draw here.
Slot left, slot right. Longan, pressure, gets out of it. Rolls right, back over the middle, dangerous pass, but the catch is made. Trzynski that time across midfield at the Blue Duke 42-yard line, makes the reception. Weber, the free safety, brings him down.
Yeah, being able to scramble around. Both quarterbacks are really good athletes. They can get out, get themselves some time, and that's exactly what happened there.
Clock stop while they get the chain set. Now they'll wind it down. 48 seconds to play here in this first half. Germantown on the march. 3-step drop. Cleavishine completes the pass.
Oh, you got to get out of bounds.
Did not get out. Malcolm Bowers, the receiver that time, And they'll have to take their final timeout of the half at the 29-yard line. Grant Menard with the tackle, the corner for Whitefish Bay.
I'm sure Coach Dock is not super happy about that. He didn't want to use that timeout at this point. He wanted to get him out of bounds, I'm sure. He certainly had a chance to do that. So now they have no timeouts left, and they're going to have to work the sidelines or throw it to the end zone.
It was enough for a first down. They'll spot it at the Whitefish Bay 29-yard line. 32-yard field goal, our only score of this ball game.
I don't know if Germantown has a field goal kicker that can kick from this far. I doubt it, but I think if they could get to the 20-yard line, they would probably take a chance at it if their time is running out.
We haven't seen much on screen passes or draws, but we'll see a band here tonight performing at halftime.
Germantown marching 100.
Yep. Quite a show from what I've been told by the Germantown fans here tonight.
Well, I know they take their music seriously out here, and that's rightfully so. There's a lot of kids that do a lot of good things in all phases of music, whether it's band or chorus or whatever.
From the 29, Mongan looking to throw, completes it again to Bowers, and Bowers does get out. Mark him out just shy of the 15-yard line.
Whitefish Bay's backed off. Now they're giving him that little underneath route, and I think you can probably take it again if they're going to give it to you.
Well, enough for a first down here for Germantown. Bowers, the big target here, 3 receptions on this drive.
Got the left-hander, and he's got room out to the left side here. We'll see if he uses it. Nope.
3-step drop, comes back to Bowers on the near side. Did he get out? He did indeed.
Yes, he did.
Right near the 10-yard line, Grant Menard able to drive him down there. So Bowers becoming the go-to guy here in the final minute.
Right now it is, yeah. He does have the speed. I think that you have to respect it. Although the field is shortening up here, so Whitefish Bay doesn't have to worry so much now about people going deep on him. They got to keep it in front of them and be sure tacklers.
2nd and 4. Clock stop. 28 seconds to go. Bowers again lined up single coverage on the right side. This time it's Mongan at quarterback, looking left all the way on the scramble. Protection breaks down. He'll be sacked. Back in near the 25-yard line. Henry Dixon, the defensive end,
now
from that near side.
You need to spike the ball and stop the clock.
Clock rolling here, near 10 seconds. Officials will get out of the way here. And on 3rd down, they will spike it. And that will stop the clock with 5 seconds remaining.
They'll probably have one play here. Take it, bring it on the, looks like a field goal team possibly.
Look at Mongan on this replay, trying to come around the near side.
Yeah, I think he needed to be more aware of the situation and probably get rid of the ball.
See, the defensive end never gave up
on
the play.
Throw it away, throw it away.
Yep. Almost a face mash there, too.
Yeah,
this is going to be a 39-yard field goal attempt from the near hash. The kick is on the way, and it is no good. Nope. Wide to the left.
Had the distance, but not the direction.
I believe that was Tyler Nassan, the place kicker. So you get a look at this one. You should have a good look on this.
I think he's a soccer player who comes over and does a little kicking when he gets a chance. He had the distance, but it just wide to the left.
Great angle there on that camera angle in the end zone. So Whitefish Bay will take a 3-0 lead into the locker room. Brian Calhoun with us. He's got Phil Datka coming your way here shortly. Be interesting to hear the remarks of Coach Phil Datka talking about what they need to do here in this second half upcoming, as they found something here with Bowers on the reception. I wonder if they're going to stick with that. We'll find out here momentarily, as Brian Calhoun now set to go with Coach Phil Datka.
Coach, with 0 points on the board in the first half, how do you feel? What is your offense do to
well, we need to finish it. We need to finish.
Hey, Jazz, it's Alex. I was just wondering if you wanted to be my date to homecoming.
We need to do that. I think we get better in the second half.
I think so.
Thank you.
Is that a yes?
All right, thank you, Brian. So a 3-0 lead here for Whitefish Bay heading into the second half. We will step out, take our first halftime break with the score, Whitefish Bay 3, Germantown 0. You're watching Thursday Night Lights presented by Allstate on My 24. Close ball game here through the first 24 minutes. 3-0 Whitefish Bay on top of Germantown. And Dick Basham, looking at the first half numbers here briefly, neither team able to convert on third down tonight. And Germantown, though, getting the job done yardage-wise and time of possession fairly even.
Yeah, they're winning some of the statistical battles, but the important one is the one on the scoreboard, and that certainly isn't very satisfying. It's certainly anybody's ball game right now, that's for sure. I think Germantown will receive the kickoff to start the second half, so I'm sure they'll be talking about a few things and looking for some cracks in that defense, some people that maybe they feel is a good matchup for them.
Let's take a look at some of the highlights of that first half, and the Blue Dukes got it going early on the ground. A couple of different running backs taking their turns there between Posey and Deontay Brown and Devontae Johnson, all taking advantage. And a nice punt return.
Weber on the punt return.
Weber did a nice job on special teams, able to take that one out near midfield earlier in the first quarter. And again, the Blue Dukes.
This is the interception,
Yep.
I believe.
Yep, that is the interception. Each team with a turnover in that first half, a pair of interceptions.
This is Holcomb, Ben Holcomb, yeah.
Yep, Holcomb did a nice job playing center field there at free safety. Germantown able to find things here with the two different quarterbacks, again using both Krivashine and Mongan, rotating them in and out every other play.
On the keeper on the option.
Krivashine again rolling out, a left-hander, able to get that one out.
Good throw, good defense, and a nice tackle by Jeremiah Holt out there.
It was their fourth down play that pinned Whitefish Bay back, but then the strong runs by Posey, as you see here, able to get that one going, and then the big man, the fullback, Deontay Brown. Kind of a lightning and thunder kind of combination.
Exactly, right. Both teams have had their moments. They haven't been able to put it together. It's a good throw here from Erke to Garrett DeMuth, big tight end. We'll be looking for him a little bit more in the second half.
Absolutely, 6'3", 222-pounder, the team's leading receiver. And here's our only score of the first half, the 32-yard field goal by French. And that's where we stand here after one half of play. As you take a look at the numbers, 147 yards for Germantown, 89 for Whitefish Bay, each team with a turnover. And but again, the one that counts is the one on the scoreboard.
Passing yards for Whitefish Bay is probably a little bit of a disappointment. I think they expect to have more yards at halftime.
Erke just 2 of 17, 19 yards in that first half. And Deontay Brown, 9 rushes for 45 of those 70 yards that they have. So Deontay Brown doing a nice job running the football. We're kind of surprised. We thought we'd see a little bit, as you said, a little bit more through the air for Whitefish Bay through one half.
And maybe they're able to run the ball because Germantown's backed off a little bit more than they expected. We'll see how this all pans out the second half. That's what the coaches are talking about right now.
Well, we talked about, you heard Phil Datka talking with Brian Calhoun. Now, Germantown was able to move the football, but you heard the comment, finishing on offense, being able to finish their offense.
Yeah, right, yeah. And he's exactly right that they've had opportunities and they just haven't been able to get it done. And this is a seasoned coach who has a team that has quite a few players who played last year. And I think he's probably going to lay it on them a little bit that they need to step up and start making plays.
North Shore Conference battle tonight, and it's a close one. Whitefish Bay leading by 3. We're at halftime in Germantown. Back with more of our halftime programming. This is the Allstate Thursday Night Lights on My 24. Whitefish Bay up 3-0 at halftime here in Germantown. Right now, we'd like to highlight a couple of very special students. The Boucher Automotive is proud to bring you tonight's presentation of our Scholar Athletes of the Week. David Zayak, advertising specialist for Boucher Automotive, presented our Scholar Athlete of the Week award. And this week it goes to Carl Erke from Whitefish Bay High School. Carl has a 3.82 GPA and is on the executive board of the National Honor Society. He is a 4-year participant in football and basketball, earning a letter all 4 years in football. Cal has completed 50 hours of community service entering his senior year. Dave also presented a Scholar Athlete of the Award to David Galganitis of Germantown High School. David has a 3.81 GPA and is ranked 44th out of 353 in his class. He participates in football, baseball, and basketball and is very active volunteering through his church and around the community. David has battled through osteochondritis dissecans after being told he would not be able to play sports again. So tonight's Scholar Athletes will be in the running to receive a $5,000 scholarship courtesy of the Boucher Automotive Group. One of our weekly Scholar Athletes will then be chosen to receive that award at the end of the season. So congratulations to Cal Erke and David Galganitis. Let's toss it down to Mike McGivern down on the sideline.
Thanks a lot. We are here with Sherry Shatterberg. She's the branch sales manager, assistant vice president for First Bank Financial Center. Thanks a lot for coming.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for having us.
Oh, you're welcome. You know, it's very important for First Bank Financial Center to be involved with the community. You guys have been in Germantown for 7 years and certainly been involved in a lot of grassroots opportunities.
Yes, we have. It's probably the best part of being a community bank. It's just really being involved. We love doing things like this, being out and helping the community. It's a fast-growing community. So,
you know, it really is a fast-growing community,
Yeah.
very family-driven.
We can just say that we.
How many branches do you have?
we've got 7 currently. We've got 3 in Washington County, 4 in the Waukesha County, and we're real excited to be opening our Menominee Falls office in October. So that'll be just a nice way to tie the communities together.
You know, lastly, what I really like, Sherry, is the fact that you're the assistant vice president. Both your kids have come through Germantown. One is a junior cheerleader, and one is graduated. Germantown's your home.
It is, yes. We've been here about 20 years, so it really is home. It's great coming to an event like this and be able to support the community and kind of show off First Bank a little.
You bet. Sherry, thank you so much. We get to a break. On the other side of the break, we get back up to the booth of Dick Basham and John Weiser. This is the All-State Thursday Night Lights High School Football Game of the Week.
Germantown Marching Band performing here at halftime. A good crowd on hand. Blue Dukes from Whitefish Bay, though, leading the homestanding Warhawks 3-0. Let's go down to the sideline. Brian Calhoun.
I'm with Coach Tejan from Whitefish Bay. Coach, a slow first half for your offense, but your defense stopped Germantown with 2 key defensive plays in the red zone. But what does your offense need to do to pick it up in the second half?
First of all, Germantown's a pretty good defensive ball club. You know, Coach Bransky and Coach Datka do a pretty good job over there. I think we got to get back to playing a little Blue Duke football, coming off the ball, and now starting to use some clock, getting the defense off the field a little bit. But I'm excited about our second half. I think we're going to get it done.
All right, thanks, Coach. Good luck.
Thanks.
3-0 Whitefish Bay leading Germantown after one half of play. And revisiting those keys of the game real quick, Dick, I think Whitefish Bay covered a little bit of that. They were able to establish a little bit of the ground game. They need to protect the quarterback.
Yeah, when they were effective, they were running the ball. And they have been able to, Germantown has been able to pressure the passer as far as their keys to the game, and I think that's given Erke a little bit of a problem.
Germantown will get the ball to start our second half. We'll be back with third quarter play. This is My 24 Thursday Night Lights presented by Allstate. A defensive struggle tonight on My 24 Thursday Night Light Game of the Week presented by Allstate. 3-0 Whitefish Bay, and we talked a little bit about what Germantown needs to do here. They get the ball to start this second half. What do you see them going to?
Well, I think they're going to go back to what they wanted to do, and that is to establish the option and being able to get some of their speed to the outside, and they haven't been able to do that on a regular basis. They had a few flashes here and there. That then opens up, I think, their play-action passing game, and they do. Both quarterbacks have shown that they can get out to the edge and put the pressure on with a run-pass option as well. So it's a big field, and I think Germantown needs to make Whitefish Bay cover the entire field a little bit more.
Dylan Krivashine at quarterback, alternating between Josh Mongan tonight. Krivashine 6 of 9, 82 yards. Mongan 4 of 8, 36 yards. He did throw the interception, the only turnover of that first half. Malcolm Bowers, 3 receptions, 27 yards. It was Jacob Richmond who got those 3 receptions also. 3 catches, 53 yards, the tight end for Germantown.
Right. Germantown has 2 number 5s on their roster, and we identified the wrong guy. We apologize to the Richmonds because they actually have 2 boys here tonight playing. Double trouble.
Very rare you run into double numbers at the high school level, but
That's right.
it's so here tonight. Good crowd on hand in this one in the village of Germantown. Getting behind their Warhawks. Again, the Whitefish Bay Blue Dukes have won the last 2 in this series and did make a playoff appearance last year before falling to New Berlin Eisenhower in the first round. Germantown just missed out on the playoffs. A 3-4 conference record kept him out of playoff football last season.
Well, this is an important half of football for both teams because I think it's probably going to help define how their seasons. You can almost say they're kind of at the fork in the road here. Who's going to step up and lay it all on the line?
French with the healthy boot. Bowers across his own 15, out across the 25, and knocked down at the 27-yard line, a 12-yard return. And so it'll be 1st and 10 for Germantown to start our second half. Warhawks will start with Mongan at quarterback here to begin this third quarter.
I was just going to say, I haven't noticed who's been in on first down and second down. I don't know if there's a pattern to what they do, but possibly they have certain series that they start one way or another.
Baker and Richmond in the backfield. That is Richmond going in motion. J.R. Richmond, the tight end. And the handoff goes to Alec Richmond, trying to work the right side across the 30 out to about the 31-yard line.
Yeah, that's the pattern that they've established in the first part of the game. They want to run that ball straight up in there. Try to keep the defense in tight and then bust to the outside.
Nose guard Jack Beck, the senior, there to make the tackle for Whitefish Bay. 2-yard pickup, 2nd down and 8 for Germantown.
I got 2 receivers way out here, almost to a point where you couldn't even throw it to them, maybe as more of decoy than anything.
Tuzinski lined up in a slot here on the near side, and they will try and run it. It's Baker, and he is stopped right at the line of scrimmage. May have squeaked out a yard. They try and go with the fullback dive that time.
Whitefish Bay's defensive line outweighs, I think, the Germantown line a little bit, especially Germantown's left side of the line. I think that's really showing up here.
Get a good look at this one, just right to the fullback.
Looks like the linebacker made the play there. I didn't get his number, but it looks like the linebackers made that play.
Henry Dixon out there on the outside for Whitefish Bay. 3rd and 4. Mongan with time to throw, steps up, far side, man out there, over his head, incomplete. Looking for J.R. Richmond, the senior, once again. Richmond able to split the defense. Weber was back there for Whitefish Bay.
Well, he showed he has the arm to get it down there. He just didn't make the connection. That a well-thrown ball, and they took a shot at it trying to keep the defense loose.
So Germantown will punt on their first possession here of this second half. Max Eggert will do the boot. Drives his leg through this one, a knuckling punt. Weber will take it his own 30. Comes up near side, now cuts back. Has a wall of blockers. If he can get free, cannot. Just a short return of 3 yards that time for Weber. And they'll have position at their own 36-yard line.
Well, it's a good job by the Germantown punt coverage team. They stayed spread out, did get bunched up, and they just had no place to run, and eventually we were able to corner him.
This will be a First Bank Financial Center first down, our first down sponsor this season. First Financial Banking Center, discover the community bank difference. Berkey taking his time at the line of scrimmage, waiting for the officials to put the ball in play. Split backfield, slot here to the near side.
So you got an unbalanced line over this to the right side here.
And the give is to Devontae Johnson. Johnson out near the 40-yard line. That's the first time we've seen that unbalanced formation here for Whitefish Bay. Holcomb, the free safety, who's been a busy man, makes another tackle for Germantown.
See if they do that again. No, now they're back to a regular wing alignment. Give to the fullback.
We'll try the fullback, Deontay Brown, and he is driven back. Germantown was waiting that time. The Warhawks, all host, waiting there up front. Kretlow leading the way with that front four for Germantown.
Yeah, that play was pretty much stopped right in its tracks. Good penetration by that defensive front from Germantown. Danny Olson, I think, was up in there too, making trouble.
Lost a couple, 3rd and 7 here for Whitefish Bay. Their opening possession, 3rd quarter, leading by 3. Erke, 3-step drop. Turns, fires upfield, complete here to the near side. And he'll rumble his way across midfield and out of bounds. Whitefish Bay, first down in Germantown territory.
Cole Rindo slipped on that. He was the defender there. And he slipped, and Weber caught that ball, and he was gone down the sideline. That was a well-thrown ball. Good timing was excellent.
Jackson Weber with the reception into Germantown territory to the 35 of the Warhawks. Gain of 26 and a first down. Four receivers, double slot here.
Yep.
And we'll hand it off the fullback Brown, and Brown just a couple that time. Again, the teeth of that Germantown defense right there. Danny Olson, linebacker, on the tackle.
Yeah, when I talked to Coach Daka this week about his defense, another person he mentioned was really having a good year was Danny Olson. He's only a junior as a linebacker. He was there. I'm in on that play.
2nd and 9. We're going to throw. Erke with time. Comes back near side. Weber with the reception. Forward progress just shy of the first down before he is finally wrapped up. Cole Rendell there again
same
for
play they just
Germantown.
ran. This is just a little stop route. He goes receiver down the field about 8-9 yards, hits him on the timing. This time Rendell makes a good play. He didn't last time he slipped down. There's Danny Olson out there with him.
3rd and a long 2 here for Whitefish Bay. Devontae Johnson breaks a tackle, gets the first down inside the 25, down to the 23-yard line.
Little inside handoff there. Kind of a misdirection play, and I think caught the defense going the wrong way.
Kretlow with the stop. It will be enough for a Blue Duke first down. So Whitefish Bay trying to take advantage of their first possession here of the second half. Now they'll give it to the fullback. Stacked up immediately. Again, Brown, the junior, with the carry. Nick Klashewski, the sophomore linebacker, there to make the stop. Small gain, 2nd down, 8 upcoming for the Blue Dukes.
We're back in 4-down territory again, so that changes the play calling philosophy a little bit.
Two men in the backfield, a single receiver left and right. Bring the man in motion. They hand off to Brown, the fullback, trying to work the left side. Able to fight for yardage inside the 20. They'll spot him at the 18.
Now they brought the wing back in motion, trying to get an extra blocker up in there, and it wasn't quite as effective as they had hoped, I think.
Big 3rd down once again here.
Well, Weber's not on the field, so I don't think they're going to go back to that pass they've been throwing.
3rd and about 7 here. Erke going to roll out left.
Tight end.
Has time, back over the middle. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Boy, there were 5 blue-shirted Warhawks there. Adam Hertz broke it up, but that could easily have been picked off.
Right.
Intended out there for Hessel.
Yeah, that was well defended, and it was a good call. I think that was probably the logical play to call in that situation. Got the big tight end, takes up a lot of space, and he's got good hands. 6'3", 222 pounds.
Garrett DeMuth, leading receiver, 9 catches, 89 yards coming into this game here tonight. So 4th down, they will go for it here. Fullback Brown, the lone man in the backfield. And they'll hand it off. Devontae Johnson, the end on that far side, coming around right side, going to be close. He may be short here on 4th down.
Tackle made by Ben Holcomb.
Ben Holcomb was there to make the tackle, and looks like he turned him away just before the first down
Brought him
marker.
back in motion, and it ran it into the short side of the field. Ran just solid. He ran out of room. That's all there was to it. There was no place to go. He had to go out of bounds.
So Germantown will take over on downs. Gives us a chance to remind you, everyone at Thursday Night Lights, asking you to support Allstate in their X the Text program. Allstate and My24 urges students and their families to stop texting and driving by pledging to X the Text. Students can sign a pledge at the Allstate booth at all of our Thursday Night Light games, or then go to the allstate.com/teen and get more information. First down play, it goes to Richmond on the run up the middle. Letitia's able to make the stop for Whitefish Bay.
Well, that's a little different than what they've been doing on first down. That was a toss sweep play, and Alec Richmond cut it back to the inside. He was able to get about 3 yards on the play.
Midway through our third quarter, Whitefish Bay nursing a 3-0 lead. But Germantown, their second possession here of the second half. Mongan handed off. Richmond again going over the 20 out to about the 23, close to a Warhawk first down.
That was again a nice cutback by Alec Richmond. The play started out to the right. The blocking was able to open up back over the middle. You'll see him cut right there. Little stutter step, cut back inside. And we're down here to 3rd down and 2, it looks like.
They're bringing sticks in here for a measurement.
Oh, close enough to measure.
Stopping play here with 5:47 to go, third quarter. While they stretch it out, we can remind you that he's got it all: a loving wife, good friends, a successful career. What could possibly go wrong for Larry David? Well, you can find out on Curb Your Enthusiasm, weeknights at 11:30 on My24. Just that short. Couldn't get my credit card between the nose of the football and the chain there.
What, do you not have anything charged on it?
Make sure you got enough links in that chain, right?
That's right.
1 link shy.
Center just moved the ball forward and fall on it. They'll probably get a first down.
I was just going to say, could you do that?
Well, you could try it. I don't know if you can get away with it.
Quarterback will keep it and gets the first down easily there. Krivashine on the keep. So Germantown will get a fresh set of downs here at their own 25-yard line. Trying to get something going. Boy, that first drive, again, 3 and out. They had something going late in that second quarter. They were able to find Bowers a couple of times on some pass plays, but Bowers unfortunately couldn't get out of bounds, which would have saved some time for them toward the end of that first half.
Yeah.
This time Mongan at quarterback. Single back is Richmond. Going to throw. Comes out throwing far side, completes to J.R. Richmond. And he gets it across the 30-yard line before he is wrapped up there. A healthy gain of about 7 there for J.R. Richmond.
Well, what's happening now when Germantown goes into that double wide formation, they're getting Whitefish Bay to back their defensive backs off more in a cover. It's hard to tell if it's cover 2 or a cover, what's called cover 4, where each defensive back has 1/4 of the field, and there is room to throw underneath, and I think it looks like Whitefish Bay is willing to give him that rather than let him throw the ball deep.
Pick up a 5, 2nd and 5 at the 30 far hash. Again, they'll try the fullback dive over the middle, and Blue Dukes are ready for that. Just a short gain of a couple here for Germantown. You can check out the Wendy's Varsity Blitz High School Football Coaches Show every Saturday morning at 10 on Sports Radio 1250 WSSP. Mike McGivern and Joe Cook will talk to a different coach each week, Saturday mornings at 10 on Sports Radio 1250 WSSP.
Well, another big play. I keep saying that, but they are big plays. That's the 3rd and a long, little over, maybe 2 yards.
Just 3 of 10 on 3rd down conversions on the evening as Mongan. Kind of a delay there. It looked like Blue Dukes were coming on a blitz, and they get in and make the stop for a loss. Jacob Pandel coming in to make the tackle behind the line of scrimmage on Richmond.
He had some help, but he was the main culprit there.
Which I don't know if the offensive line looked a little out of sync. They looked like they weren't quite set or confident on that play.
Yeah, I think so.
Kind of a little slow in developing, may have aided Whitefish Bay there. Eggert will punt this one away again. Fair catch signal made by Weber. He'll run up and make the catch at the 43, and we will step out. Late in the third quarter, Whitefish Bay on the road, leading Germantown 3-0. This is the All-State Thursday Night Lights Game of the Week on My 24. Whitefish Bay, a 32-yard field goal in the first half. That's all the scoring here through nearly 3/4 of play. With Dick Basham, John Weiser with you in the village of Germantown tonight. A perfect night for football.
It's kind of like a couple of heavyweight fighters, just punching back and forth, and once in a while you land one, but nobody's really knocked anybody out yet.
Well, Whitefish Bay given excellent field position here, starting at their own 43-yard line. Erke in under center.
That unbalanced line again.
And this time it's Johnson trying to bust through the right side across the 45 and driven down near the 46-yard line. Once again, Ben Holcomb leading the team in tackles with another one.
Yeah, and we talked about Weber from Whitefish Bay being an excellent free safety. Ben Holcomb has been all over the field tonight and saved more than one long run, and that was a big hole right there, and he came up and cleaned that up real fast.
6'3", 165, 9 tackles on the night.
Yep. And they've all been big tackles, important tackles.
From their own 47, Erke, 3-step drop, coming back near sideline, and it was incomplete. Dropped by the receiver here on the near sideline. Weber, the intended target.
Cole Rindo defended, but that's a play they've been running. They ran it a couple times in the last series, and tonight he just didn't. Or this one here, he didn't make the connection.
Well, another 3rd and long for the Blue Dukes. Had a lot of that here tonight.
They could be setting up a little hitch and go with that quick pattern they've been throwing. See if they come back to that.
Hessel single receiver split out here the near side. Play action, they roll Erke out, looks back near side, Hessel with the catch, out of bounds at the 45, enough for a first down for Whitefish Bay.
Yeah, that was well done by Erke. He got out there, he got his feet tangled up a little bit, was able to gain his balance and put the ball right on the money. You notice they're working the short side of the field. They got all the room out to their left now, but they're working into the sideline in a one-on-one coverage situation.
From the Warhawk 44, 1st and 10. This time they'll hand it off again. This time it is Posey. Posey up the middle inside the 40 of the Warhawks, just shy of the 37-yard line.
That's that little trap play they've been running. That's the first time it's really been effective here in the second half.
Before we get to this second down play, let's toss it down to Brian Calhoun.
I'm with Trooper Robert Simpson from the Wisconsin State Patrol. What are a few things that you want to make aware to high school students about driver safety?
Basically that they need to wear their seatbelts. Bottom line is, if you wear a seatbelt, your odds of surviving a crash increase highly. If you don't wear a seatbelt, you're either going to be injured severely or die. That's the bottom line.
What are some of your thoughts about drinking and driving?
Those two don't mix. If you're going to drink, call somebody. If you're in high school, you shouldn't be drinking anyhow. But if you're going to drink, call somebody to come pick you up. Please do not get behind the wheel and drive.
All right, thanks, Trooper Robert Simpson.
Thank you.
Brian and Robert, thank you very much. Yep. Another critical third down here. Yep. Great advice from Trooper Simpson, you bet. Another critical play here. It looks like we're going to bring the sticks in one more time for a measurement. I think he was short.
I think if they get the first down here, though, they end up now in a situation where they wouldn't have to punt.
We'll stretch out the chain, and just by the length of a football, got the first down.
Yep.
Another first down for Whitefish Bay. Again, the big key here, they're chewing up time, keeping that Germantown offense on the sideline.
The clock is rolling.
We'll reset and wind the clock down once they put the ball in play here at the 34-yard line.
They've been successful doing several different things, different running plays, and that really opens up a play-action pass if they need to go to that.
This time they'll run option with Urke, and he is stacked up at the line and driven back. Looked like they tried to do a little option, sending Posey in motion here the near side, but Adam Hertz had thought better of it, leading the defensive charge for the Warhawks.
Yeah, they were all over that. That surprised me. I didn't know they had the option in their repertoire, but evidently they do, and they'll probably put that one away for the night right now.
Into the short side, too.
Yeah, and they're running everything into the short side. Germantown's got their strong safety, or maybe you're running away from Galganitis. He's been very effective. And that's what they're doing. They're sending Galganitis and Hertz out to the wide side of the field. That's their two leading defenders, and trying to run away from them.
2nd and 10.
Urke
rolling left, has time, delivers the football complete to Posey inside the 30, and he's wrestled down shy of the 35-yard line, close to another Whitefish Bay first down.
Well, that was a little reverse pivot rollout by the quarterback, and the receiver was wide open, but I think you're starting to see the effect of the running game being effective, creating space in the secondary. The Whitefish Bay, their timing's much better. There you see Urke coming to his left, gets his feet set, nice high release. Wide open. Missed the tackle. Rindle misses the tackle, but gets help from probably Ben Holcomb.
Tackled inbounds, so the clock's going to roll out here to end this third quarter.
No reason to run or play.
3 quarters in the books here in Germantown. Whitefish Bay with a 3-0 lead heading to the fourth. This is the All-State Thursday Night Light Game of the Week on My 24. Blue Dukes leading Germantown 3-0, facing another third down, 3rd and 3. They're 5 of 13 on third down conversions tonight. Phil Detka looking on for Germantown. Urke will hand it off. Posey, Julian Posey gets the first down, just shy of the the 20-yard line. Pajewski, the sophomore, there to make the tackle.
Just a little reverse pivot, handoff to the fullback and the offensive line coming off the ball. Shanley, Henrik, Seeby, Klett, Taylor Hoff, really, and Garrett DeMuth, all 6 of them, including the tight end, really getting the job done up here now.
Again, a long drive here, and again, keeping that offense off the field for Germantown. This time again, they'll run the cross reverse. This time, Devontae Johnson, right side to the pylon.
Nice.
Touchdown, Menominee Falls. Whitefish Bay.
Yeah, that was a well-executed play.
Thought he was going to keep running to Menominee Falls there as they got to the corner of that pylon. Let's take a look at it. They ran the man in motion. That took part of that defense with it, and that left plenty of room for Johnson over that right side. And once he got into that 2nd and 3rd level, wasn't going to get caught.
Jack Beck pulled around the corner. He's been playing a lot of defense, but he was in on that play on offense, and he pulled around the corner and led that play.
French for the extra point. And drives it through.
Good.
Early here in the fourth quarter, a 10-0 lead now for Whitefish Bay. An impressive drive. 9 plays, 56 yards, just under 4 minutes. Coming right at you.
Yep. About as close as you can get. Well, now Whitefish Bay's kind of forced Germantown's hand here a little bit. They may have to abandon the run a little bit more and see if they can get some passes completed downfield. They've got to get a score here fairly early if they expect to get back in this game. Because Whitefish Bay has shown now that they can take the ball and keep it on the ground and run the clock and use up that clock, and that's the enemy now for Germantown is becoming the clock more than Whitefish Bay. You can't just count, obviously, the Whitefish Bay, but the clock is a real problem.
Bowers and Krivashine standing deep, awaiting the kick by French. High, healthy boot here. Bowers will wait at the 15. Up the middle across the 20 and met and driven down at the 27-yard line. 12-yard return for Bowers will give Germantown the football at their own 27, down 2 scores.
It might have been Kelly Jackson on the tackle there on that kickoff return. They got to go 70 yards here.
It'll be Mongan, the quarterback, to start this drive.
Back in the shotgun.
Will work shotgun. They opened up the ball game in that formation. Haven't seen it since. Right. Swing it out. Completes here to the near side. Able to make the catch. Matt Eggert. Brought down by Menard. Near the first down marker.
Well, Germantown has the receivers. They have the speed to get open in the secondary. They have 2 quarterbacks that have the ability to throw the ball down the field.
It was a gain of 9, second less than a yard here for Germantown.
Be interesting to see here if Whitefish Bay maybe gets after the quarterback a little bit if they feel like they're going to consistently throw. Right now it appears that they're going to go for the first down here and then they'll get back on track again.
Krivashine. Play action going to roll out to his left, being chased out of the pocket. Going to go downfield, man open, caught inside the 35, dances his way inside the 30, and spinning down Tuschinski with the catch down to the 25-yard line. A huge hit for Germantown on second and short.
Well, I think Whitefish Bay was thinking what I was just thinking. They're going to go for the first down, and they faked the run and rolled out to the wide side of the field, and they had Tuschinski behind the secondary. It was a nice throw and catch.
Jackson Weber out there, the sophomore. Tuschinski right in front of Weber to make that catch before he is finally brought down at the 25-yard line. Two receivers here to the near side for the Warhawks. Krivashine, the lefty, will sling it out there, complete, just short of the 20, and driven back.
Yep, Eggert again on that first down pass. So they're doing what Whitefish Bay's been doing. They're working the sideline with the short stop routes.
Grant Menard, the sophomore, on the coverage. Everyone at Thursday Night Lights asks you to support Allstate in their X the Text program. Allstate in My24 urges students and their families to stop texting and driving by pledging to X the Text. Students can sign a pledge at the Allstate booth at all of our Thursday Night Light games or go online to allstate.com/teen and get more information. Krivashine running option, the pitch back to Richmond over the right side. Gets it inside the 20, bellies up to the 15-yard line.
Yeah, Jeff Seeby was out there to handle that pitch, but Richmond cut back inside and was able to make a pretty good gain on that play, close to the first down. No, it is a first down.
Jack Beck, the nose guard, making the tackle. Alec Richmond with a nice run. The junior, 5'11", 175, coming into the game, 4 touchdowns. He had 3 touchdown runs versus Port Washington, one of them a 74-yarder.
See if Whitefish Bay's big guys up front get a little tired. They're playing, some of them are playing both ways tonight. They don't normally do that, but it's a big game and they may be getting a little bit tired.
Krivashine rolling left. Gonna throw left. Man out there, no, could not come up with it. Intended for Tuschinski again. Tuschinski, the junior, 5'11", 165, coming into the game, 2 catches for 9 yards. The big one here, setting them up deep in Menominee Falls. Where am I tonight? Whitefish Bay.
You must have stopped there on the way up here tonight.
I guess so, huh?
Well, one thing Germantown's doing very effectively is getting their quarterback out away from any kind of rush. So if taking away the blitz as far as Whitefish Bay is concerned to get pressure. They are getting a chase from the backside.
Again, going to heave it out there through a defender and off the receiver's hands, incomplete.
That could have been
Rendell, the intended target, I believe. No, that was Richmond, J.R. Richmond.
I think Mike Letizia had it in his hands.
2 different players had their hands on this one.
Who's that? Number 50. That's Seaby. Yeah, Jeff Seaby had it right there. He'll be dreaming about that one.
Now 3rd and 10 at the Blue Duke 15-yard line. Germantown taking a lot of time here to get this play in.
Going out of the gun again.
Krivishine, last 4 plays now at quarterback. Low snap, gobbles it up, throws it out here, complete to Richmond. Rolls out of bounds near the 15-yard line. J.R. Richmond on the reception. Jeff Seaby again there to make the tackle for the Dukes.
4th down. Just a little flat pass right here. But really not enough room to get the yardage that they needed.
Good open field tackle by Seaby there to wrap up his man immediately. Sets up 4th down. Looks like
try a field goal again.
Going to try another field goal here for Germantown. Tyler Asen missed earlier from
the leg to make
32. This will be a 30-yarder near hash. Good snap, ball down. It's on the way and just inside the left upright. It is good. So they get points. Important to get points on this drive. 10-3 now your score. Just under 9 minutes remaining here in this ball game.
All they need is 10, and as long as they don't give up anymore, in order to at least get it to overtime, and it doesn't matter what order you get it in.
So a 10-3 ball game. Good drive here for Germantown. That big pass play, 8-play, 58 yards, capped off by the 30-yard field goal. 2.5 minutes taken off the clock, but Toshinsky's big reception there set them up.
Yeah, that was a huge play, that 2nd and short yardage when you had them thinking stop the 1st down, and that was a good call. We're going to give the old doctor, Phil Duck, a chance to make a great call.
I think we'll call that our smartest play of the game tonight.
I'd have to go with it, yeah, no doubt about it.
They caught that defense going one way and rolling the quarterback out, so that pass play to Toshinsky to set up the field goal, our smartest play of the game, brought to you by the Wisconsin National Guard. So Eggert will do the kickoffs here for the Warhawks. Back deep for Whitefish Bay. Devontae Johnson, this will be straight away, and Johnson bobbles it, picks it back up, coming back near side, met at the 20 and buried. Darian Walker actually on the return that time for the Blue Dukes. Nick Fritchell back there to make the play on special teams. Get a look at this one.
You can see the ball bounces. Oh, this just shows him where he picked it up. He got sandwiched pretty well right there.
And now if you're the Blue Dukes, like to pick up a couple of first downs here and
you want to keep getting first down, and you want to burn up 3 or 4 minutes here minimum if you can.
They'll hand it off.
That's a problem right there.
Posey across the 30 and wrestled down at the 32-yard line. Julian Posey, a 5'9" sophomore.
Just a little off tackle play.
Nothing fancy, just going off left tackle here.
A little, what's called a G-scheme block. The left guard pulled out, number 64, and it's Tom Hendricks, and kicked out the defensive end. That was well run. It's a tough blocking scheme to defend, and they executed it very well.
A few times they've been able to seal off Galganitis over there on the end. And they come right back, running it right across the 35 and stacked up forward progress. Posey again with Danny Olson, the junior linebacker, able to make the stop.
Well, those 2 plays right there indicate that the Whitefish Bay offensive line is not tired, and they're coming off the ball and making things happen.
Again, they're just going to take as much time as they can, try and get that play clock down to about 21, 22. This is where the quarterback needs to make eye contact with the back judge. He'll count it down for you. Erke going to throw. Going to go back over the middle, diving grab made by Mike Leckie, the senior flanker, sliding his way short of the 45-yard line. Covered up by Holcomb.
What happened that time is Whitefish Bay put their strength into the sideline, and so Germantown put their strong safety, and Galgonitis over away from where this play was executed, and the back in motion put him in the flat, and that was a good throw and catch.
A timeout taken here. Stopping play with 7:44 remaining. It's a show full of blood, sweat, and cheers. Don't miss all the action and drama in the cutthroat world of college cheerleading on Hellcats. That's Wednesday nights at 8 on Milwaukee's CW 18.
Whitefish Bay is doing a good job now in their alignments, kind of dictating Germantown's alignment, and are getting their better players away from the play by using an overload into the sideline. So Germantown has a choice to defend the formation the way it's lined up, or they could take their strong safety and Galgonitis, who's that anchor end on that side, and put them out to the wide side of the field. We'll see if they change that philosophy here.
Another first down on the measurement there for Whitefish Bay, so they retain possession. Clock will continue to move. 7.5 minutes to play in the game. This time it's the big man Brown, the fullback, across the 45 out to the 47-yard line.
The left side of the Whitefish Bay offensive line is really getting it done. It looks a bit like a rugby scrum, but they're being very successful. That's a 5-yard play.
Koszewski and Kretlow making the tackle for Germantown, but again, the Blue Dukes just chewing up yardage on first down, picking up 4 or 5 at a time.
I think we got Jack Beck in there playing left tackle right now, and he's making a statement.
Berkey will get them set.
A little confusion here about where to line up.
They want their wide out a little bit further out here on the left side. Azurki will hand it off. Coming back around is Posey again. Gets to the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard before he is driven back.
Mike Leckie, the runner.
Actually, is that Leckie or Posey? It was Leckie, the flanker on the carry that time. Holcomb and Olsen were there to make the stop.
Yeah, he came back inside. They're really working, they're running in behind Tom Hendricks and Jack Beck, who's now playing left tackle. Normally he's a nose guard on defense, but he's getting double duty tonight. Now they got Weber lined up as the end right next to him.
Movement in the backfield. That will bring the penalty markers. Brown flinched there, the middle back in that backfield.
Got to give Coach Tejan credit and his staff. They're really making the best use of the talent and the players that they have. When I talked to him on Monday, he was telling me that they're a 2-platoon team, but when I got here tonight and talked to him, he said, yeah, we've made some decisions. We're going to play some guys both ways. That's how big a game they felt this was.
Part of the youngsters watching this one here tonight. A few pointers from our National Guard out of Whitefish Bay tonight. 3rd and long, Erke gonna roll right. With time, over the middle, completes for the first down into Germantown territory at the Warhawk 43-yard line.
The guy who made that possible was Deontay Brown. He had an excellent block on that defensive end that allowed Erke to get out there and make that throw.
Hessel, the split end with the reception and the first down. As you see
right
Erke
rolling.
rolling.
The end of it, yeah.
Huge pickup there on 3rd and long, because it gives you a fresh set of downs and clock continues to roll.
Looks like Erke is really settled in now, and he's real comfortable with his offense and the plays that are being called. He was a little bit out of sorts early in the game. They were getting a lot of pressure on him, but he's real settled in.
Give us to the single back. Brown, the fullback, spilled right at the line of scrimmage. Olsen, along with McComas, able to knock him down right at the line. Short gain of 1, second and about 9 for the Blue Dukes. As you get a look at Jim Teachin pacing that sideline, working that gum out.
Working that gum pretty hard,
yes,
isn't he?
He is.
Clock is running down. We're under 5 minutes already. Germantown needs to make a play here if they really want to get back another shot at it.
I would think if they could stop them for no gain or a loss, they may take a timeout here and try and preserve some of that time. Again, Erke waiting for the count by the back judge.
Gonna run that sweep again. Got good defense out here.
Lecky, near side, out of bounds, gets the first down.
Excellent job of tight roping down the sideline there.
See where they mark him out. It's right at the sticks here on the near side, right in front of the Blue Duke bench. Danny Olson finally chipped him out, but
Germantown had good flow, but he was just able to outrun the defense enough to get down close to the marker.
Again, coming back to the short side here.
You'll see number 81 out there, number 88. Oh, he got a little holding penalty, I would say there. And you can see Adam Hertz get up and say, I had my jersey.
Deontay Brown with the carry. Kretlow with the stop, but very close to a Whitefish Bay first down here.
Deontay Brown carrying the ball for Blue Dukes.
They'll probably have to measure that. Nope, they're going to call it right from there.
That's huge. 4.5 minutes remaining.
Yep, and the clock will start as soon as they mark the ball.
Has to be frustrating for a coach like Phil Datka over there. I know he prides himself on defense and trying to get his team to make a play here and get that football back, trailing by 7 late.
Well, and the thing that's happening, they're forcing him to use 3 downs to get the first down, and that's every play is probably at least 40 seconds off the clock.
Slot left, slot right. Give us to Brown. Up the middle, big hole. Off he goes. Brown inside the 15, tackled at the 11. Saving the touchdown, Adam Hertz, the strong safety.
I think you're going to see Tom Hendricks pull here and trap. No, it's the right guard. Pulled and trapped left. That would be Jamie Klett. It's one of the simplest plays in football, but it's also one of the best plays. Just what's called a quick trap. And what you do is you let the defensive lineman come across, and you take advantage of his aggressiveness and kick him out, and away goes the play. It's a great end zone shot here.
Yep, from the 11, 1st and 10. Again, Brown breaks a tackle inside the 10, driven back there. Once again, Adam Hertz, the senior strong safety, having a big night on defense for the Warhawks.
Again, another excellent block by Tom Hendricks on David Galganitis on that kickout play.
Unofficially, we've got him 12 tackles tonight out of that strong safety position.
Second down.
He will bring the play in from the sideline. Then time the enemy here for Germantown. Approaching 3:15 remaining.
I don't think they're going to change their philosophy right now. They're going to just burn the clock and run it right straight at them.
Posey in motion. They'll give it to Lackey out of the wing on the right side. And he is stopped right at the line of scrimmage. And now Germantown will take a timeout.
Stopping the clock under 3 minutes. There. The fullback went right and they handed back to Posey coming back to the left. And David Galganitis was able to make the stop.
Timeout on the field. We'll take a break as well. 10-3 Whitefish Bay late here in Germantown. This is My 24 Thursday Night Lights presented by Allstate. Our real fan cam tonight presented to you every week by Wendy's. Wendy's, you know when it's real. If you're on that Germantown side, you on edge here because you know this is a big play here. 3rd and 9, down 7, trying to preserve some time here. Should you make a stop defensively and get that football back?
And they can get a first down here. They're started about a foot outside the 10-yard line, so they could get a first down if they got to the 1-foot line.
Hessel split out to the right. Lecky in motion. Urkel with trouble, and will get back across the line of scrimmage.
Well, Joe Kretlow was in there and put pressure on him right away, and he was able to spin out of it, but he didn't really get much out of that play. So now I think it's probably field goal time.
Loss of 2, and again, Germantown will take their second time out here with 2:49 to play. Decision time for Whitefish Bay.
I think you'd want to go up by 2 scores if you can, and field goal would certainly do that for him, but I don't seem to be.
Tell you, David French gets the ball up quickly, so
yeah.
Watching him in warm-ups tonight, really gets that underneath that football early, so he gets a lot of height out of that kick. So where they spot this football, it's going to be about a 30-yard attempt here for French.
If they decide to go for it, and he is French in there?
He was out there.
I don't think so. I see or Jackson Weber's in there. Yes, he is, the guy with the cast on his hand. There.
Yep, Erke will do the hold. They'll be right in the middle.
Just a long extra point's what it is.
Yep.
You know?
He wants it in the middle. So
that's easy for me to say. I'm not kicking it. You know?
30-yard attempt here. Erke on the hold. French. Drives through it, plenty of distance. And it is good.
That's a good kick.
Beautiful kick by French.
Yep.
And puts Whitefish Bay back up by 10 with 2:44 remaining. Excellent drive, a good answer here for the Blue Dukes. After giving up the field goal, they come right back.
I agree. And now we're probably going to see some fireworks here from Germantown. They have got to score in a hurry. And onside kick and recover and score again. It's possible. Probably not likely, but it's certainly possible. And I'm sure that's what they're thinking right now. They're not going to throw in the towel.
They would like to get a good return here to help them out. Again, they only have one timeout remaining.
Whitefish Bay ran 14 plays there, took up over 6 minutes to get that field goal. That's ball control football, and that's how they play it, and certainly a successful for them tonight.
Krivashine and Bowers will await the kick.
There's always a chance of a kickoff return, too. They do have some speed back there.
Try and keep it low, and Bowers will pick it up at the 12. Far side, trying to get the edge at the 20, turns the corner. Up the field across the 30 and out of bounds.
Nice return.
At the Warhawk sideline near the 35-yard line. So good field position here. Again, Germantown with only one timeout remaining with 2:37 showing here at Phil Datka Stadium.
Well, I'm sure we'll probably see him in a shotgun now with 4 wide receivers.
Given the 32-yard line where they mark him out. There you get
Here's
Jim
Tuschinski
Cheechin
out on this side. Reindl out here.
It'll be Krivashine at quarterback. Going to throw immediately, gets it out complete, but stopped inbounds.
Oh, he dropped the ball.
He dropped it incomplete. Did
Good
not
hit.
hang on to it. That was
Good
going
hit
to
by
Eggert.
the defensive back. Yeah, Menard really put a hit on him.
Yes, he did. Eggert, the intended receiver, could not hang on to it. So 2nd and 10 for Germantown.
The reaction there, but that was a really good reaction by Menard, but he is a little bit susceptible to a hitch and go if they. That would be my reaction as a coach to how he played that.
This time they'll roll Krivashine to his right, spins it out complete to Richmond. Nice catch across the 30, but just a short gain that time to J.R. Richmond, the tight end.
Now they're going to have to go down the field.
Batija there to make the stop, the junior linebacker for Whitefish Bay.
Got a quick look at that last throw right here. It's an excellent catch. It's a tough throw for a left-hander going to his right.
Back to live action. Devashine going to throw, and it's overshooting his target that time. Tuschinski, the intended target, the flanker, over his head.
Whitefish Bay's only rushing with 3 guys. They're dropping everybody else off. There was a lot of people there. He was open. He could have completed it, but he did throw it over his head.
Well, it comes down to this. 4th and 9 for Germantown, trailing by 10 with just over 2 minutes on the clock. Krivashine from the gun. 3 receivers left.
Well, they faked a blitz and everybody backed out, but.
And it is a no catch. Short hopping the receiver, Tajinski, the flanker. He's upset. He thought he got his hands underneath it, but it's short hop Tajinski, and they'll turn it over on downs. We'll get a look at this one.
We'll take a look at it, see if we got a good picture of it.
It's a tough play. Left-handed quarterback rolling left, trying to get something on it, and he did not have control.
He trapped it, he used the ground to catch it. That's a good call by the official.
So Whitefish Bay with 1:57. Germantown can only stop the clock one more time. Erkey will come out.
I think they'll just run out the clock as best they can. I think they can take it's probably a little bit too much time to take a knee, but maybe they will. We'll see.
They'll triple back in the backfield, and they'll hand it off. Coming around near side.
Shades of the old days, of the old split tee.
Lucky out of that split tee, and it's Bowers, the senior, the cornerback, making the stop. Gain of about 5.
I could date myself and say I haven't seen that since Woody Hayes was coaching, but probably most of the viewers out there don't know who Woody Hayes was.
Again, kept it in the middle of the field, stayed in bounds. Need to advance it here. No doubt the Warhawks will take their final timeout following this play. Again, they'll roll Erkey out to the right side, and he's going to just go down just inside.
I don't know if that was a design play or a missed handoff. I'm not sure. Well, they got under a minute, so they're not going to leave Germantown enough time to score twice, I don't think. That's for sure.
And they take this all the way down and either take the delay or call a timeout themselves.
I think Germantown's probably is always conceding that they're not going to call a timeout, not realizing they have to score twice.
And did not get that off. I think Jim Teachin, the coach, called the timeout just before the delay.
Right,
Took it as far as he could with 30 seconds to play.
He just wants to get them over here and make sure everybody's on the same page. They don't have a miscue of a snap that's mishandled or a handoff. We don't need to hand it off. I think you're in a situation now where you could probably take a knee.
Fans, we invite you to join us right here at Datka Stadium.
Let's take a look at Germantown's schedule. Tough one next week at Milwaukee Lutheran, and then at Cedarburg, Nicolay, and then they finish it off with Grafton and Homestead.
Ooh. Yeah, that Cedarburg and Homestead certainly are the two of the top teams in that league. Milwaukee Lutheran has a lot of firepower. They have an excellent running back. There you get a shot of Phil Datka. He's announced about a week ago that he's going to retire at the end of the season. He's had a great career. He's loved up in this community, and rightfully so. He's given a lot to the school in so many ways.
Let's look at the Blue Dukes schedule in the coming weeks. They've got Port Washington coming up, then at Grafton. They'll finish up with game at Milwaukee Lutheran on Wednesday, the 20th of October.
But that Homestead Cedarburg back-to-back, that's a tough road to hoe there.
They're looking to get to 2-0 in conference, 3-1 overall, and make it 3 straight in this series. As they will hand it off. Coming around the far side, staying in bounds. Oshadamin Gray on the carry.
Whitefish Bay is a solid football team. They don't have, I don't see a lot of weaknesses out there at all. Their biggest thing, I think, is they're going to have to play some guys, some of the linemen both ways quite a bit, and whether they can take that pounding.
Well, they'll make it 3 straight in this series. 13-3 will be your final here tonight in Germantown. The Blue Dukes on the road knock off the Germantown Warhawks, as you see Phil Datka making his way across. 42nd and final season here as head coach for the Warhawks. as he will shake hands with
a lot
Jim
of
Teachin at
experience
the middle
right
of the
there.
field.
Those two guys have coached a lot of kids and won a lot of games.
Final tonight, 13-3, Whitefish Bay over Germantown. We'll be back with our post-game wrap-up following this. This is the All-State Thursday Night Light Game of the Week on My 24. (13-3) your final, Whitefish Bay over Germantown. Brian Calhoun with the presentation.
Congratulations, Coach, against a hard-fought win against Germantown. Here's a banner from Wisconsin National Guard, and here's your trophy. Congratulations, Coach.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Three straight in this series as Whitefish Bay celebrates a 13-3 win over Germantown here tonight, and the Warhawks falling now to 1-1 in league play and 2-2 overall, and really just struggled trying to make plays, particularly on third down here tonight, and Whitefish Bay able to go on extended drives, really the key here, particularly in the second half.
Well, there's the total yardage for both teams is fairly close, 265 for Bay and 226 for Germantown, but Germantown had Whitefish Bay had 182 yards rushing, and they made the most of that situation. Germantown only able to get 50 yards on the ground tonight. That probably, if you talk to Coach Dock, he'd say that's where we really needed to get it done.
Let's take a look at tonight's drive of the game, and coming up here, the stop on fourth down, and then they were able to take it right down the field, right. Whitefish Bay. So the Whitefish Bay touchdown drive tonight. Their first touchdown of the ball game. That is our drive of the game, brought to you by Zero in Wisconsin, a vision we can all live with. It was really got the Blue Dukes on their way, the drive of the game, their touchdown drive tonight, as they celebrate a win here in Germantown.
Well, they worked hard for it and they earned it, that's for sure.
Let's take a look at our good hands play of the game, and that goes back here in the fourth quarter, the drive by Germantown. The big pass play as they circled Krivashine around and found his man Tashinsky with the catch. That set them up near the inside the 30, actually down to the 25-yard line. That set them up for the field goal. That is tonight's Good Hands Play of the Game award to Tashinsky and Germantown. Good Hands Play of the Game award presented by Allstate.
Well, here's some stats from tonight. Cal Erkey was 8 for 15 on passes for 83 yards. Devontae Johnson, 10 rushes for 48. Deontay Brown, 17 for 76.
It's a big night for Whitefish Bay. They pick up a win on the road. We'll step out, take another break. Back with more from Germantown. Whitefish Bay, a 13-3 winner. Back after this. Whitefish Bay, a 13-3 winner over Germantown tonight on the road. Time now to select our players of the game, and a really easy choice, I think, here tonight for Germantown. On the defensive side, it went to strong safety Adam Hertz.
Well, yeah, he's been a terror for all season for him. I think he had 12 tackles, unassisted tackles in one game. He had 17 tackles in another game, and he had 13, I think, tonight. So he's going to be sore in the morning, but he's a player that really makes a difference for him. One of the guys that we were talking about for Whitefish Bay that he had to run into was Deontay Brown, 17 carries, 76 yards, our Whitefish Bay player of the game tonight. Right, he did not start the game, his first game back this season after coming off an ineligibility for whatever reason, but he made a statement tonight that he's back, and I'm sure Whitefish Bay is happy about that. Again, 17 carries, 76 yards for Deontay Brown, that big one right up the middle, and that set them up that final drive here tonight. So that is our player of the game for Whitefish Bay. The Players of the Game award brought to you by Menards. Save big money at Menards. Next week, we're into the Southeast Conference. We're going to see a big ball game out at Oak Creek. Oak Creek Knights taking on the Franklin Sabres. Should be a great one for you next week, 7 o'clock next Thursday night. I'm looking forward to it. That conference is loaded with talent this year, and those are two of the top teams in that conference.
That about wraps things up here in Germantown tonight. Whitefish Bay, a 13-3 winner for Mike McGivern, Brian Calhoun, Dick Basham, and our entire crew here on My 24. I'm John Weiser. Hope you enjoyed the broadcast. If not, the final outcome. Once again, the final tonight, Whitefish Bay by 10, 13-3. Until next week, have a great week, everyone. Thanks for watching Thursday Night Lights, presented by Allstate on My 24.